Okay, I'll call tonight's meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Jerry, will you take roll call, please?
Member Haddock? Member Seamers?
Present.
Member Eastwood?
Present.
Member Howdyshell?
Here.
Member Lewis?
Here.
Member Manson?
Here.
Chairman Harris?
Present.
Director Kennedy and the rest of the staff are present.
Thank you, Jerry. I'll move to adopt tonight's agenda. Is there anything, do I have a second? Second. Is there anything anybody like to add or remove? All right, all in favor? All right, agenda is adopted. I'll move to accept the minutes from the June 24th, 2014 meeting.
Second.
I have a first and a second. You were the first second? No, the second, okay. Is anybody would like to make any changes, any comments? All in favor? Any opposed?
I'll abstain.
One abstention. Thank you, sir. Any public comment this evening? No? All right, moving fast. We have disc golf. Eric, would you like to speak on disc golf?
Sure. We're making progress. Last Friday, Steve and his staff put in the sleeves. The holes were dug, augered out, and the sleeves were set in concrete. I believe this week or today you set the temporary markers for the tee pads with numbers. And tomorrow we're supposed to set the baskets and mulch. So that'll at least be initially playable on the front nine, which is around the entrance of Rec Park, starting at the skate park, goes around the pond, and comes back towards that. So we'll have 10 baskets out there. We can see how the flow works and how the tee pad locations before we pour the permanent concrete pads, how they'll work in case we want to move them slightly. And then later on the summer, the plan is once we have some more time, we will pour the tee pads. The back nine, we'll start working on that in the winter. Once things stop growing and kind of die back, we'll start working on those holes and start putting those in. And the plan as of today is to do a groundbreaking next summer.
Thank you, sir. Any questions for Mr. Eastwood? Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Brian, if I can add, we will have some discs at the front desk that people can check out. So if they're new to the sport, it gives them an opportunity to come into the office, pick up a disc, and go give it a try.
What do they need to check it out? Like driver's license, leave a driver's license, check it
Yeah,
out, get your driver's
we'll
license?
take something from them.
Okay.
Arm, leg.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yeah, Monique?
That was the question that I had
Okay.
in mind.
Brian,
Yes, sir.
Eric, are we going to have someplace recommendations for acquiring equipment for those who want to participate, especially new
Well,
people?
I mean,
some
there-
sports stores that we know that we can recommend to.
Well, Academy, once it opens up, we'll have them. That's probably the closest. Today, no. They have. Walmart has carried them in the past, but not always. So I have found them in there before, but no guarantees. So any other large sporting goods store, box stores would have them. There's two specialty disc golf stores, Disc Golf World, which is on 18th Street, 18th and Cherry, kind of downtown, and the other is in 47th and Mission in Kansas City, Kansas, behind Oklahoma Joe's original location. So they have thousands of discs at those two stores, but there's a lot there. But you can go to Dick's Sporting Goods or Sports Authority or Academy Sports. They all have discs as well. So get with me if you want recommendations.
Of course.
Anything else from Mr. Eastwood? Thank you, sir. Mr. McLean, would you like to give your report, please?
Yes, sir. As you can see in the report that I sent out, all of our spring baseball, softball, recreational ball, competitive is all over. All we have currently going on is our summer adult softball league. As you can see, we're taking registrations for recreational soccer, volleyball, flag football, a recreational baseball and softball league, and competitive. All of that will be wrapping up deadlines throughout the month of August and start placing on teams and getting that stuff ready for the fall. I've been meeting with South Metro Group. We're getting ready to hold our meeting next week. It'll be our season end for the baseball and softball season, as well as planning out our yearly activities, making sure we're all on the same page, same deadlines, same time frames for the sports, so that way our share play all lines up correctly. So that'll be a planned out meeting. And other than that, we're doing in-house updates with our software programs, and special event wise, of course, we had the 4th this month, and I think it went very well for my first one being there. And I think staff did a good job on that end of things with preparing and planning and facilitating that. Summer Quest, we've been averaging about 70 participants, and you can see the different field trips we've taken throughout this month, and it will be wrapping up August 8th, so we've just got a few more weeks to go. So that's all I have. Any questions? Yes.
I have a question about your fall ball that you're starting.
'Kay.
Are you continuing the teams that were formed in the summer and keeping them together? And what happens if a full team doesn't come? Just kind of what are some of the logistics on how you're going to run
We
the
are
new fall
we are
pro ball?
trying to keep the base team together, yes, to make it easier on staff as well for placing kids. If we had kids that did not get to participate in spring, we'll be placing them on teams. I do have a couple of coaches interested in combining forces to make sure that we have enough participants to play. And so, yes, because it is a first-time offering for the recreational league, there's going to be some give and take, and I'm working with coaches on that, yes.
Yes, sir, Mr. Haddock.
Was that relevant to, are we talking about baseball? Okay. The soccer, is that different? Are we making sure the teams break up now?
Recreation soccer is, the coach comes in, and I believe he has 4 freezes. It's his kid, assistant's kid, and then then 2 others they can freeze, and then we place and divide according to age, and it's a random placement.
Okay.
So on recreation, we place the teams together, so that way we do not have loaded teams for rec.
Okay, so that's the difference. You're saying your question was not relevant to recreational sports.
It's recreation, baseball, and softball, yes.
It was. It's just that I believe I'd heard that the teams were still randomly put together for
Yes.
baseball from the summer, but they were continuing to keep them together for this fall. I just wanted to know how that would work.
We're trying this because it's a first-time program, and to make sure that we get people in there, I mean, you're going to be guaranteed your picks, and a lot of coaches, a lot of kids are still playing football or playing soccer and doing multiple sports, so therefore on the baseball and softball aspect, to fill the spots, I mean, if we have a coach coming in, then he will be able to retain the team from spring, summer, since there's only a month and a half delay. A majority of his kids will be able to stay on. Of course, we do that with volleyball from fall to spring. We try to keep a lot of them together as well, so it kind of follows those same guidelines.
Any other questions? I have one. I want to know what the camp battle is.
Camp battle is against Belton.
See who it's against. What is it?
It's our counselors and their counselors as well as kids on kids, but I will let Jerry address that further because she is putting this together. If you'd like.
Yeah, what is it? Sounds awesome.
We are hosting the Belton Summer Camp to come over tomorrow, and we have a couple of games, soccer and kickball. We do very condensed game of counselors versus counselors. And then we are going to have a couple of kid games where all the kids get to participate as well. So there'll be water balloon toss for everyone, and then there'll be dodgeball games for everyone. And then we're going to have snow cones, and you know, we started it last year, and we work so close with Belton, we just thought it would be fun.
How many kids and how many are you expecting to participate total? I mean, will there be 300 kids?
No.
No.
We have 65 kids registered this week. And then Belton told me on an average, they have 80 a week. On an average, they have 20 counselors or more on staff, and we have 12, so.
150 or so. Oh, that'll be fun. That'll be a good time. Awesome.
Jerry, is that tomorrow?
It is tomorrow. They're going to start about 9:30, and I did talk to South Metro today, and they're going to come out and test out their pumper truck, and I'm sure our kids will appreciate that.
How late in the day do you?
They're not going to be doing it past 11:30 or 12, just however long it takes us. We also put our Fender system out, and we do a couple of dances. The kids, you know, you get a bunch of kids doing the cha-cha slide or something. It's fun. So it's not really a battle. It's more like team participation, but
Okay, thank you.
Next time, let's get swords. No, I'm just kidding.
No. Liability. That's all I'm going to say.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir. Mr. Rulo.
Thank you. I also submitted a written report, but just want to hit on a couple of them. One, the staff had a contractor come out and repaint the parking stalls at Recreation Park. We did this right before the 4th of July. They did a really good job, especially on very quick notice. So we definitely appreciated that. And park staff has been working on the pond in Rec Park. Those of you that have been there, for the last couple of years, the algae has just gone crazy in there, and there's 3 different types of algae. So some of the grass carp that we have in there won't take care of everything. So we've rented a track hoe to come in, and we're going to actually dredge the edges out to where it's goes straight down instead of gradually going out. It gives the algae ample room to grow, and we feel that, along with the MDC, feel that if we make it a straight down, straight drop off about 2 to 3 feet, it's tougher for the algae to get to the sun and get up there. So we're hoping this will clean it up a little bit. Staff has already gone in about 3 weeks ago, and we reinstalled the overflow tube. It had totally washed out from what we feel the muskrats had gotten underneath the tube through the years and made pockets. And then with the big rains, they had come down, and it had totally washed the whole thing out. So we reset it, put bentonite in there, packed it in with some of the clay that we had taken out of the baseball fields last spring, and we feel that this should do the job. We'll be taking some of the muck out of the pond to put on the top, which will hopefully be good fertilizer and stuff to get some decent grass growing here in the fall. So other than that, that's about all we got. I'd be willing to entertain any questions.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Rulo? Thank you, sir. Mr. Kennedy?
Thank you, Mr. Harris. A couple things. John and Steve and I will tomorrow be going over to Grandview. They're going to dedicate a park renovation that they did. It's Valley Park, and they have a new playground piece called Berliner. It's similar to our spider web piece that we have at Moon Valley Park, but this piece alone is $600,000. So it's supposedly the largest one. in this part of the country, if not the United States. So we're kind of anxious to see what they've done over there. And I think Steve's going to climb to the top and slide down that big slide that they have. I'm not sure. Okay. I'm going to hold you to that. Hard to believe there's only 2 weeks left of day camp. The kids will actually be going back to school in 3 weeks. So I think Jerry and her staff really need some great accommodations for the things that they have done this summer. The camp has gone really well. Alex, what's Alex's last name? Hall has been the director this summer. This is Alex's second year. I sure hope he comes back next year because Alex did a terrific job, and we've had a lot of good compliments from parents as far as the day camp program this year. With tonight's committee setting, I will be asking that we start meeting on a somewhat regular basis for the different committees, the grounds committee, the recreation committee, and the budget committee. We do have some things we need to talk about, so hopefully I can schedule some times for those different groups to get together. Tonight at the farmers market, Dairy Queen was there. They brought 350 cups of ice cream. They were all gone by 5:30. So pretty good night for ice cream for one thing, but we were kind of concerned with the heat tonight that we wouldn't have the vendors and we wouldn't have the crowd. Not so. We still had a very good crowd tonight, and we had 48 vendors show up. So again, staff I think has done a great job in promoting the facility and working with the vendors, and they're selling. They seem to be having pretty good market days here. Coming up at the farmers market, we have a one-man band, and that's next week. And the Nationals Farmers Market Week is August 5th, and we have a fruit carver that will be out that night. We may try to do a proclamation. I have not talked to the mayor about this yet, but it is a pretty big deal. Farmers markets have gotten big throughout the country. And finally, on the farmers market, as you've seen, we have a master plan that's been developed by staff. And I asked Mr. Fearborn and Mr. Crass as to what the timetable may be, because the design for these different features, which includes a market pavilion, an entry plaza, parking lot, some off-street parking, and some new sidewalks, and possibly a performance stage. And he hopes to have the design done by December. We hope to go out on bid immediately after that. And with a little luck, we'll still have everything in place by the time the market starts next June in 2015. Finally, we're putting together a phased plan, staff is, for the Hawk Ridge Park master plan. We will be bringing this to you in August. Steve and I and John and Jerry too, we will identify specific things that we feel have priority and present this to the board, let you discuss it, and with your direction, we will hope to start development with some dedicated funds in 2015 for Hawk Ridge Park. At least that is our goal at this time. Any questions you might have?
Any questions for Mr. Kennedy? No. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to old business. Last month we tabled the election of the new park board chair and vice chair because we had some people out and missing. So I asked for nominations over email if anybody wanted to nominate. For the chair position, I was the only one to receive a nomination. For the vice chair seat, we got a nomination, one for Bill Manson and one for Eric Eastwood. I'd like to open the table up if anybody else wants to nominate anybody at this point, or nominate themselves, or remove their name if they want, although they already accepted. But okay, then we'll move on. I guess we need to officially vote for the chair seat. I'm the only nominee. All in favor? There, unanimous. That's an easy one. All right, for vice chair, we have two seats to fill. We have Bill Manson and Eric Eastwood. You guys want to say anything? You want to speak?
I'm gonna vote for Bill.
I didn't know I was gonna campaign.
I mean, you don't have to really campaign. I don't know if we've ever really done that in the past. It was kind of funny how it's, well, that's a story we'll tell later.
Eric's probably still wondering who nominated him, right?
Still curious. No, there's only one vice chair. There's two nominees.
No, I heard you. He did say.
No, I did. Did I say that? I misspoke. There's not two seats. There's not co-chair, vice chairs. All right, so we'll just ask. All in favor of Bill? Raise your hand. All right. 1, 2, 3. Do we want to vote for Eric to make it official? Yes, all in favor.
Vote for Eric.
Okay, you, in there we go. All right, Bill wins. Bill wins. Bill got suckered into it. All right, thank you. B was the committee assignments, which we went ahead and discussed in the work session, but just for public consumption. We have 3 committees, a budget committee, a recreation committee, and a facilities and grounds committee. On the budget committee, I am the chairman. Bill is another member of that committee. On the recreation committee, Bill's the chairman of that committee, and Eric is a member. And then in facilities and grounds, Jim Haddock is the chair. Michelle, Monique, and Melinda all wanted to participate in that committee. So moving on to new business, we have 2 items this evening. The first item is to approve the award of contract on the Eagle Glen Trail renovation. If you guys all remember, and I don't know if you guys were here. That was
Brian.
that.
Brian,
Yes.
I'm sorry. I think I'm going to need a second for each one of those votes. So who volunteers to second Brian, and who volunteers to second Bill?
I'll second Brian. Brian, Bill.
I'll second Bill.
That wasn't very official, was it? Really?
Doesn't somebody have to second Eric also?
Yeah. Sure. Okay. Well, then we need a motion. Now we got to do it all. If we're going to do it official, we got to do it official.
Yeah, because I have you motioning yourself as chairman, so.
No, I did not motion myself. I moved myself.
Moved yourself. Okay, whatever.
My mom yelled at me one day about that.
Okay. I second Brian
Okay.
as chair.
Yes. Any discussion?
motion to vote?
Yes, I moved. Oh, I
You get a motion, you second, and you vote.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, all in favor? We moved. Yes, I
Yeah.
moved. She seconded. Unanimous. Okay, I move to, I don't know how, I guess I'll move to make Bill, I'll move Bill to be the vice chairman.
So,
I don't know, Bill.
Okay, any discussion? No, all in favor?
Well, I move now.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, unanimous. Okay, that's official.
thank you.
Very casual.
All right,
It's
new
very
business,
casual.
Eagle Glen Trail renovations. Everybody remember what this pertains to? Do we, I don't remember when we had that meeting when Mike Crass was here.
2 meetings ago.
Was it 2? Yeah,
I think it was the second or third meeting ago.
all right. I will move to accept staff's recommendation and award the contract to Terry Snelling Construction in the amount of $182,300.
So move.
Is that a second?
Yeah.
A second. Okay. Any discussion? All in favor? All right. Unanimous. All right. Item B. Since we approved that contract, and with some other retractions from that, as far as taking some rock out and pouring thicker concrete, the budget, the amount came out to be a little bit higher than we had budgeted in the original contract. So we need to make a budget amendment for $4,365 to cover the adjusted project cost.
Sir?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
I do want to make a point that that is for contingency, that $4,365. So it is not necessarily going to be spent for this project. It is contingency fund if something comes up in regard to the project that they need additional funds. We are putting in that $4,365 along with Public Works is putting in that same amount to equal what we need for a contingency for this project.
Okay. Understood, understood.
Got a question.
Yes, sir.
What happens, does it go back, do we have to do another budget amendment after it if we don't use it? Or does it just automatically go
No,
back
sir,
in?
that, they will go back. Whatever is needed will be spent, obviously, and whatever is left will be split between the Public Works Fund and the Parks Fund, and will go back into those budgets.
But do we have to make a budget amendment on the other side?
No.
Okay.
We will have to approve, obviously, final payment, and they will have, if there is a change, and they do have to dispense additional funds, it will come in the form of a change order, more than likely, and that's where we'll have to ask for final payment.
So do we need a second now?
Nobody's made a motion yet. Yes, sir.
Oh.
Well, hold on, we got a question. Somebody have a question?
I move that we amend the budget for the Eagle Glen Trail renovation project to add $4,365.
Second.
All right, I have a first and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor? Unanimous? Any board member comments this evening? Yes, ma'am.
I would like to congratulate the staff and Mr. John Kennedy for the farmers market. I went around last Tuesday. I got there at about 4:45, and I had a difficult time finding a parking space, unless I wanted to park on the parking of the church, way to the west of the church. But the roads were, I went all around. The parking lot on the east side of the church was full. The roads on either side, on all four sides, were full, parking on both sides. And I must say that it was very agreeable to go and see so many people and everybody talking to each other. And it was really fun, and the tomatoes were excellent. And I need a second. I really enjoyed, and so did my family, enjoy the 4th of July. My son-in-law, who has a very good voice, I know that, but he sang with the orchestra, or with the group, it wasn't an orchestra, with the band. He sang all their songs, knew all the words, and the fireworks were fantastic, really fantastic. And I heard a lot of very good comments around me. They didn't know I was with the park, so, but I heard a lot of very good comments. So I want to congratulate the staff and Mr. Kennedy. It was very nice.
Thank you, ma'am. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
I also want to thank the staff for helping getting going on the disc golf course. It's been a long road. I'm really excited about it. Thanks for putting up with me, and I'm pain in the rear end sometimes, but I'm excited. I know a lot of people are as well, so thank you.
Anybody else? Nope. I move that we adjourn tonight's meeting.
I'll second that.
Second? Any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous. Meeting adjourned.
You had to have the gavel.
Should we shut these down?
What you do, yeah, you need to turn it off. Just go ahead.
The whole thing or just tomorrow?
Shut it down.
Okay.
You can close out the tab and shut the computer down.